We are live. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for jumping on tonight. So Tuesdays, we're going to do a little bit of Kaizen coaching, and then we're going to do a shortened version of the Cirrus overview. I think that would be a good way to, kind of keep everything in 30 minutes so that we don't take up too much time. Because I know, things can get long-winded sometimes, but that being said, let's go ahead and start. So I'm going to share my screen. Thanks for jumping on. And tonight's topic is actually going to be about how to talk to strangers. Okay. So here we go. I guess do a thumbs up or drop a one in the comments if you can see that, because when you share the screen, you can't really tell. Okay, cool. when I do the other where it's actually loaded in the widgets, I can see it pops right up. But with this, it doesn't really show. So tonight's Kaizen coaching training is about when we are wanting to introduce the idea of our opportunity with somebody. A lot of times, we're nervous to talk to strangers, right? It's fairly easy to talk to our warm market, to talk to people that we know, whether that's family or friends or, acquaintances or other, business partners, whatever it is. But when it comes to talking to strangers, people that we've never talked to before, it can cause some anxiety, right? And yes, I am definitely, guilty of that myself. The idea of talking to just a complete stranger out of the blue, it not so much anymore. I've gotten used to it, but years ago when I was first starting out in the industry, it caused a lot of anxiety. And so, you probably read that, How to Talk to Strangers, and immediately, palms sweating, butterflies in the stomach, like, whoa, how am I going to talk to complete strangers? And that is probably the majority of people, right? That get started in this industry with us. And so most people in network marketing do get anxiety just because they haven't been trained, right? It's something you have to learn how to do. And so here's what we're going to talk about in tonight's training is how to talk to your cold market. All right. And, some people might be saying, but that's old school MLM recruiting. How dare you? Right? How dare you talk about talking to people in the cold market? What? That's crazy. But here's the thing. Would you ever want a team of people where some of them were willing to talk to strangers, call their warm market, or do home meetings? Well, the answer, unless you were dropped on your head, is of course, right? We would love to have people on our teams that are doing these types of methods to build theirs and your network marketing business, right? So it really is a key skill because it's one thing to create your list and write down all the names of people that you may have met throughout your life or whatever, but it's a totally different thing to learn how to actually talk to a stranger, somebody who you've never met before. And it's one of those things where I look at some of the stuff that people write, that messages that they send to a complete stranger, and it's funny sometimes. It cracks me up. Right, I'll see an email and it's so hypey, it's just unreal. And so what you got to do is learn to do the exact opposite of what you would think, right? Because again, in the end of all of this, we're not trying to sell people. We're trying to establish relationships, right? And that's why I like to sometimes call this relationship marketing, the idea that we're actually forging those friendships and those relationships. And that kind of a relationship can go beyond a specific opportunity, a specific company, right? A lot of you that are on here tonight, we all know that. We've known each other for years and through lots of different opportunities, right? But yet we've maintained that relationship because we all respect each other and see each other as leaders, and and we're a team. So that's one of the things that we have to remember when we're going to be talking to people like cold market wise. We're not trying to sell to them, right? We're not trying to hype something up. We're actually trying to get to know them, get to know their background, their needs, and how what it is that we're sharing could be a solution for them, right? And it could be as generic as simply, okay, you're looking for another stream of income, right? And that's, I think, most people. But it could also be something a little bit more specific, like, hey, are you looking for a new place to do webinars where you're going to save some money, have more features, and be able to earn daily rewards for doing it, that kind of stuff. So you can kind of bring it down more specific to certain people, but in the end, that's what it is. It's create the relationship and then provide a solution for them, right? And it could be making more money. Okay, so having said that, here are the script, right? Here are the 3 steps that you can do to talk to strangers, right? Here's just the basic stuff. That step number 1, this is what most people know about, okay? And this is doing the curiosity raise, right? So we're basically, we can either be passive or we can be active. So a passive would be something like just wearing the swag, right? Getting a t-shirt, getting a hat, wearing a button, whatever it is you want to do, and having a little sign or something, putting a thing on your car, right? Like a sticker on your car, whatever. And you just get that curiosity going passively, and in hopes that they'll reach out to you, right? So that's great. Okay. But if you want to be active, if you want to do active curiosity raising, then you have to ask a question. Okay. And it's best to have some sort of a chit chat first, right? And it could be, one of the tools I used a lot is the birthdays, right? You go on Facebook and you see that somebody's birthday. And so it gives you an excuse to go in and talk to them and, say happy birthday, whatever. And then you've kind of opened the door to now, hey, what else are you doing? What's been going on? How's the family? Whatever, right? So, and now you can then ask some kind of a question, right? We've all probably heard the form thing, which is family, right? Occupation, recreation, and I forgot what M is. I think it's maybe you guys can help me out. I forgot what M was. Family, occupation, recreation, and maybe it's money. I don't know. But whatever it is, you could bring up any of those things, right? And we can find out a little bit more about what's going on. What do you do for a living, right? What's your occupation? What do you do for fun, right? Motivation. Okay. Yeah, maybe motivation. I like that. Okay. So that's the idea, right? Here's an example. Hey, just throwing it out there, but would you be open to a side project if it didn't interfere with what you're doing? Or, hey, just curious, do you keep your options open for when it comes to making money, right? So most MLM companies will stop right there, and that's it. That's all they teach you is that one thing, right? How to use form and just kind of raise some curiosity and find out what they're doing. Okay. But we're going to take it to the next step here. We're going to talk about step number 2, which is now clarification. Okay. So if you're doing passive, you repeat back what is on your button or your shirt or whatever, right? Your hat. So for example, you could say, hey, my company has a button that says, get free monthly assets for your family, ask me how, right? And so when they ask about the button, I might just, say, hey, just curious, why would you be open to getting free assets? This is key, and it takes a lot of pressure off, right? Because you can just listen at that point, right? But if you're doing active, such as asking one of the 2 above questions, you could also ask them, hey, just curious, why would you be open to be, actually earning or making extra money? Or, hey, this is so, what is it that you're looking to solve? Maybe, I could help you out with something, right? It becomes very powerful because you haven't really pitched anything to them yet, right? You're not telling them about the opportunity yet or anything, right? You're just trying to find out more about maybe what they'd be interested in, okay? Then step 3 is to break in communication, right? So I've never really heard anyone else teach this step, but it is powerful. because the number one mistake made in network marketing is you don't talk to enough people. Okay, so I mean, that's really what it is, right? The number two mistake, though, is that you say too much when you do talk to the people, and so you're kind of like vomiting on them, right? So this will prevent that. Okay, so you create a break in the communication, right? That's what that means, break in communication. So you basically have completed steps 1 and 2, and then you point them to a tool, or you get their information for follow-up. Okay, so here's the example. Oh, okay, that sounds good, right? Whatever they said, yeah, I'd like to have more money to, pay off my debt, or I need some more money to, I'm looking to go on a vacation, or whatever it is, right? And then you say, okay, that sounds awesome, but hey, you know what? I have to jump on a conference call right now, but let me get your number or your email, okay? And I'm going to send you some information. Would that be okay? Right? Or, hey, gotcha, that sounds pretty serious, but you know what? I'm running a few minutes late for a meeting and I need to go. So let me grab your information and we can chat later. When would be a good time, right? And then if you follow these three above steps, you will prevent talking too much and you'll have a curious prospect. Okay, how cool is that? So that's it. That's the little bite-size training tonight of how to talk to strangers. Okay, so just to kind of recap, let's just go back one. So raise curiosity passively or actively. Okay, however you want to do it. Passively because you're out and about with a sign, a t-shirt, a button, or whatever. Actively because you start up a conversation while you're in line at wherever, at the grocery store, or at Starbucks or wherever you're at. Or if you're online, you can be a little bit active by doing the birthday trick, right? And you go and you see when their birthday is on Facebook or wherever, and you actually actively send the message, right? And raise the conversation. And then once you've done that, okay, now that's when you go in for steps 2 and 3. So clarification, okay, ask them the question, kind of raise their curiosity a little bit more, get them thinking about it and all that. And then finally, you actually break it off, right? You don't try and pitch them right then, because if you do, they're going to feel like they're being sold, right? But one of the key things to all of this is patience. Patience in then just saying, okay, hey, I got to run. Get their curiosity going, get them wondering, right? Like, what is it this person's going to send me? Oh my goodness, right? Now they're thinking about, now their subconscious is going, right? And they're going to be way open to hearing about it once you actually do reach out, okay? Because if you try and do it in the moment, you just don't know, right? Depending on where you're at and what you're doing, they might not have time. You might not have time, right? And so trying to share it with them in that very moment, not a good idea. But if you can then just break it off, create that break in communication, and now you've got their information, right? Now they're going to be thinking about it. So when you reach out, it's not a surprise, and they're going to actually be truly curious about what it is you have to say. Okay, so it doesn't mean you're going to get a yes every time, but it will bring down that wall of resistance, right? And that shield of protection that everybody wants to put up because they're just kind of caught off guard in the moment. Okay, so anyway, so that's the training for today. Hopefully that was helpful, and we'll continue with that in future trainings, coaching sessions in the future. So for those that now are interested in hearing the brief express version of one of the ways that I've found to be able to make a little bit of extra money, you're welcome to stay on, and we will jump right into what we call the Cirrus Express opportunity presentation. All right, so we'll see how quick we can get through this. The full version takes a little bit over 30 minutes to get through. So we'll see if we can do this one in about half that time. All right, so welcome everybody to tonight's Cirrus Networks opportunity presentation. We are super excited about this because what it represents is truly what I think, in my opinion, is the future of so many things. It really, truly is this idea of decentralization, tokenization, and bringing things into Web 3.0, also known as blockchain. Okay. So as we dive into this, got to do the disclaimer. Just know everything I talk about tonight is about opportunity. It's for those of us that want to be involved in a decentralized world with rewards and potential commissions through the business opportunity. But we are not talking about any kind of guarantees or promises or return on investment or anything like that. Okay. It's all based on possibilities and based on your own personal talent and effort and everything else. All right. All right. So welcome to the future. It really is the future. I was there in 1995 when the internet was born, and I still remember when all of a sudden I started seeing all over the place www this and www that, and I thought, what in the world is the World Wrestling Federation taking over or something, right? I still remember thinking that, like, what is the W's all about, right? And then I found out it was the internet. And, we all wondered, what is this internet thing? It's kind of cool. And, I was excited about it. And, I kept looking for different web pages to come up and stuff. And it was amazing, right? And that's where some of the big tech companies that we now know and love had their start, whether it was Amazon or Google or some of the other big ones. Apple kind of had its, renaissance in that time period. So it was really interesting with big tech, right? They took the internet and they ran with it. Now, it wasn't successful for everybody, but it was successful for a lot of people. And what we see now is that those big companies that started way back then, they pretty much control the world right now, right? Like, Apple and Google and, and Amazon. And then eventually we got, Facebook and others. They are, we just can't live without them. We saw that just yesterday with Amazon. Half the websites went down for a few hours yesterday morning because Amazon Web Services went down, and everybody was based on Amazon. And so they really truly do control the world. It's fascinating. And not only that, but they profit from our data. Right? They don't let us have a voice. A lot of times we get censored on social media, but they take our data, meaning our likes and what we're interested in and stuff, and then they resell that. They package it and resell it and make money. Right? So the world's going to change. It really is. What happened from the 1990s till now, in the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to see how everything is going to be more fair, transparent, and decentralized as we move towards this new blockchain decentralization. It's really, really fascinating. So how do we do that? Well, or what does that even mean? Like, if you think about decentralization, right? The kind of the first iteration of that has been companies like Uber, Turo, Lyft, Airbnb, DoorDash, right? A lot of these companies, what they've done is they've taken technology and they've let individuals now participate in commerce where they normally couldn't, right? Before, if you wanted to give people a ride, you have to go work for a taxi company. Or, if you wanted to rent out your apartment building, like a hotel, you'd have to actually go get maybe a franchise through Marriott or Hilton or something, right? But now, thanks to technology, anybody with a car can go drive for Uber or for Lyft. Anybody with a spare bedroom or an extra apartment or something can go list it on Airbnb and rent it out. If you have a additional car that's sitting around not being used, you can rent it out on Turo, right? You just use the technology for that, which is great. And it really is taking us in that new direction. However, you still can't be an owner of those companies, right? That's where it's just kind of a midway point, right? It's going in the right direction. But through blockchain, you actually have ownership now, okay? You get to be what we call a digital landlord, and you now get to benefit from participation in the community. So it's not just, I'm driving for Uber and I'm making money for each ride I give, right? No, it's now even if I'm not driving, even if I'm not using the services, even if I'm not doing all of that, I can still benefit as an owner because I'm taking part in the entire organization and getting rewards for it. Okay. We're replacing big tech, and we're going to be able to have more control over every facet of our lives. So how do we do that? How do we participate? Well, like I said, it's called being a digital landlord. We actually have ownership. When we participate in this opportunity, we're not just making money from the sale of products and goods, right? We're actually able to participate in the entire ecosystem of the blockchain because we took advantage of having some ownership in it. And how do you have ownership in the blockchain? Well, you actually purchase what's called a node. Okay, so the blockchain that we're talking about here is called Gnodi. So Gnodi with the G, and that's from the Greek gnosis. Okay, so gnosis combined with nodes from blockchain, they combined that, kind of a play on words, and made it Gnodi. And it's offered through Cirrus Networks. So Cirrus Networks is the marketing division of the Gnodi blockchain. And through Cirrus Networks, we can offer blockchain-powered AI-integrated products, and they're all built on a decentralized blockchain for data sovereignty and transparency. And the coolest thing about it is that we now get rewarded for our participation in this groundbreaking community. When I say rewards, what am I talking about? I'm talking about similar, not exactly the same, as a Bitcoin kind of situation. Okay. So here's how it works. When you participate with a node, you are now providing a generator in this entire blockchain network. Okay. So by hosting your node, you're giving fuel to the ecosystem, and it's a seamless process that you can just set up, and you contribute to the global network through hosting your node. And now you're an owner. Okay. You have ownership in this. And it's really cool because through active participation and contribution, you get incentives. Okay. By hosting your Gnodi node, you now have an important role in supporting and securing the blockchain, but you also receive digital Gnodi tokens for the contribution to the ecosystem, which helps to grow it, right? It makes it even more decentralized and resilient. And not only that, the important thing also is you have a voice and a vote to influence the government. You actually, the community of the blockchain is all the node owners. Okay. We all get to participate. We all get to vote on things. It's really pretty cool to think, wow, okay, I have a say. I have an ownership in this. I'm getting rewarded for being part of all of this. So really, really fun. Now, the other way to think about this that kind of makes a lot of sense to me is if you think about like Bitcoin and some of these other types of crypto or digital products out there. A lot of times people will say, oh, I'm going to buy so much of this coin or this token or that whatever. But what happens is that's like buying golden eggs. Okay. And they're good. Yeah, that's great. Who wouldn't want to have a golden egg? But what's even cooler is owning the goose that lays the golden eggs, because now we have something that's producing those golden eggs, right? And it's the same thing. The nodes in the blockchain, they're like the goose. They're producing these tokens, these rewards every single day. And so by owning a node, it's like owning a goose that's going to be laying the eggs every single night at midnight. Okay, that's the reward for your participation. So how do you get a node? Well, a few options. You can get a full node, right, which is the full software license that allows you to get 100% of your share of the daily rewards. And that one's only $1,200. Or if you can't afford that, that's okay. You could participate with a half node for just $597. If you can't afford that one either, that's okay. You can get a quarter node, right, for just $297. Or if you can't do that one either, you can just go ahead and get a mini node, right? But that one, they do like that you have it on a subscription. So you're buying a new mini node every single month on like a monthly kind of thing, that, subscription, just like you pay for your Netflix bill or, whatever, your cell phone bill, you're buying a mini node every single month so that you can participate and contribute towards building out blockchain. The first three, they're actually one time. You just get them one time, you're done. And then you just pay a little tiny $1.75 a month hosting fee for each of them. The mini node, though, they do like that you get it every month, and that one only has 75 cents for its hosting. So by doing that, you're now getting daily rewards. Okay, every night at midnight, you're getting paid out your portion of the rewards just for being an owner, just for participating in this amazing blockchain community. Okay, but a lot of people might even say, you know what, I can't even afford $100, right? Like buying even a mini node is a bit out of my price range right now. I'm just trying to make ends meet. I'm just trying to, survive. And that's okay too, because here's the really cool thing. At Cirrus Networks, they offer micro nodes, and the micro nodes are so unique. This is so exclusive, so different from any other blockchain projects out there, because there are others. There are other blockchain projects that also sell nodes and maybe half nodes or whatever, but nobody out there offers micro nodes. And what does that mean? Well, here's an example. So we all are familiar with products like iCloud or Google Drive or maybe Dropbox, right? These are subscription services for people that want to just save their pictures, right, in the cloud and have them protected. So that's one. We all know about streaming, right? Everybody's familiar with Netflix. Everybody loves Hulu, or, whichever one you like, HBO Max, whatever streaming service you like, so you can watch your shows and your movies. Okay, we're all familiar with travel products, right? Travel portals where you can save money on your travel. We're all familiar with Zoom and doing Zoom meetings, right? I mean, who hasn't been on a Zoom meeting since the pandemic? Okay, we all are familiar with that. Or cell phone service. Who doesn't have a cell phone plan nowadays, right? And then, of course, shopping and card products and cash back products and being able to save money when you go shopping online or in stores and stuff. All of these kinds of things are services that everybody deals with almost on a daily basis, right? Especially the cell phone. Cell phone and shopping, yeah. Those are ones, and probably streaming, right? Like at least weekly. So what Cirrus has done is they have said, we're going to take all of these different kinds of services that people know and love, and we're going to turn them into nodes. We're going to convert them into a way for people to participate in the future with blockchain and decentralization and get paid daily rewards for something they do anyway. So currently you could go get the Cirrus Safe product for only $10 a month. You get 6 terabytes of storage. You get protection from big data and everything they're doing, analyzing all your pictures and your data and stuff. And for the same $10 a month you'd spend elsewhere, you're getting more storage space and you're getting daily rewards. The Meetin product, which we're using right now, same kind of thing. You could go pay Zoom the same amount, about $20 a month, to have a meeting room where you can have 100 people in there and do your meetings and stuff. Or you could use the Cirrus version of Meetin Gnodi powered, and for the same $20 a month, you can now have 300 people in your room, plus all the add-ons and call to action buttons and other cool things, and earn 40 rewards every single day for the same price you were paying over at Zoom, right? It converts into a micro node. And the same thing's going to happen with the travel, with the cell phone, with shopping, with the e-card program and streaming. All of these different kinds of services and products are coming over the next few months into the next year. And it's going to be super exciting because people are going to now say, oh, I am a node owner, micro node, okay, but that's okay for just $10 a month, $20 a month, whatever it is, right, for these different services. And now people will say, wow, I'm saving money, I've got more benefits, and I'm getting paid daily rewards. This is the coolest thing ever. So it's all about utility. Okay. That's what makes this project so different from any other blockchain out there, is because it's all purpose driven based on the consumption of actual utility, actual services that people want and need and are willing to pay for anyway, right? It becomes the backbone of the economic structure of this community. It is super awesome. So we have that triple advantage. They're better products, better pricing, and better rewards, right? It becomes a no-brainer. Okay. It's just super, super awesome. All right. So beyond that, if you are interested in doing this as a business, if you want to be able to make money in actual dollars, not just in rewards, right? That can, vary in their value. But if you're thinking, okay, this is cool, and I would love to be able to share this with some friends or family or whoever, right? Who wouldn't want to get rewarded for sharing some savings on streaming or savings on shopping or whatever it is, right? I know a few people I could share this with. Absolutely. So you can do that one of two ways. You can either become an affiliate or you can become an associate. Okay. So as an affiliate, you join for free, completely free. You just say, hey, I want to do this. This is cool, right? I would love to get, a streaming product. I would love to get the Cirrus Safe. I would love to buy a node. I want to be part of the future. Great, cool. But besides that, I want to share this with a friend, a family, a business associate, whatever. Cool. Who do I sign up with? Yeah, send me a link. Okay. So whoever invited you to watch this is going to send you the link. You're going to sign up for free as an affiliate. And now anytime you share this with somebody else and they decide, I want to get the streaming service, I want to get the meeting service, whatever it is, you're going to earn 20%, right? So for example, if somebody got the Cirrus Safe for $10, you would get $2 every single month that they renew that subscription. They're getting the daily rewards, right? 20 daily rewards, but you get $2 every single month, every single month, every single month, every single month, right? They sign up for streaming. It's 20% of whatever the cost of that is. Okay. Every single month, every single month. How cool is that? But not only that, if you say, you know what, I'm a leader. I'm somebody that would like to, build a team. I'm good at talking to people, but also training those people to kind of do what I did, right? Or maybe you're not even that good at it. Maybe you just are like, hey, you know what? I'm going to share this with my neighbor. I'm going to share this with my coworker. I'm going to share this with, my cousin who likes to talk to people, whatever. And I would like to earn money, not only when I bring, 3, 4, 5 people to this, but maybe they're going to share it with some friends. Maybe they're going to start telling 10, 20 people, right? Maybe you get somebody who's really influential. They got like 1,000 followers on TikTok or something, right? And they go post about it. And then, boom, next thing you know, there's like 20 people related to you in that organization. And you think, man, could I make money off of all of that too? And the answer is yes. As an associate, you now get to make money on 6 generations of people that introduce it, like, oh, I introduced it to my neighbor, who introduced it to his buddy at work, who introduced it to his mom, who introduced it to her best friend across the country, whatever, right? And you get to make money on all of that as an associate through what we call our compensation plan. And the way to become what we call an associate is you just got to buy a node. That's it. Okay. So to change from an affiliate to a associate, you purchase a node and you're good to go. Now you can say, yep, upgrade me to associate. Now I get to make money on multiple levels, not just on one. So really, really cool. And that pays out every single Friday. So, it's people buy stuff during the week. The following Friday, you're getting paid on it. It's that lucrative. So fun. So it's all about timing, because right now, this is brand new. A lot of people don't know about this yet, right? 93% of the world doesn't know what blockchain is. So your timing could not be better. We are pioneering this whole idea of digital landlordship, where people can now be owners in something that's happening with us or without us. And we get to take advantage of it. It really truly is like the gold rush, where people heard about the gold rush in California back in 1849, right? And those that went first were the ones that actually found some gold. Those that waited, right? Those that said, "Oh, I'll go next spring," or "I'll do it," whenever, they ended up showing up, and no, it was all taken, right? It was all gone, and they hesitated too long. So don't hesitate. Don't take too long. Get involved. Find the person that invites you to see this presentation. Ask for their link so that you can sign up for free and position yourself. Become a digital landlord, whether it's the $10 one all the way up to the $1,200 one, doesn't matter. It's just whatever's comfortable for you. Secure your place in this Gnodi blockchain revolution, because this is just the beginning. There's going to be literally hundreds of different kinds of services and products in the future that you could share with people. And you want to make sure that you've got all of your friends and family with you, so that as they introduce new things and that person says, "Ooh, well, I like that one. Ooh, I like the shopping one. I'll do that," right? You've already got them. They're linked to you, and you start to make not only the rewards, but also the commissions through the compensation. It really, truly will be a game changer as this starts to grow and take over the world. We're already in every single country across the planet. We got people in every country, literally from Australia. We've got a few people already in China and Japan. I mean, this thing is starting to grow, but it's still super early. So take advantage of it. All right, my friends, that is it for today. Hopefully that was helpful. Thank you for joining me, and stay tuned, because corporate's going to be doing some cool stuff. We got tomorrow's training on the compensation plan. If you want to plug in, they've got a lunch and learn on that. And then, of course, we've got the corporate call on Thursday, where our chief marketing guy, Bob Steed, one of the co-founders, is going to give us some updates. And then, of course, Saturday we do training and stuff. So you're definitely not alone in this. If you want to participate and be part of something cool, we're here to support you. But again, reach out to whoever invited you to watch the presentation, ask them questions, and then let's get you going. And we're here to help in any way we can. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great evening, and we'll see you tomorrow on the training. Take care.